welcome in everyone. How are you doing this afternoon? Hope you're all okay. Right. So, again, let you all know what's going on. We have our normal stream. This is our afternoon co-study, co-work stream where we do 20 minutes of focus time followed by 15 minutes of break time. You can either chat with me or get a drink or go for a quick walk around the house. You know, anything that you need to do to relax in between working is all good. So, yeah, how did y'all's break go, by the way? Because we do our morning work time streams, and then we take a 2-hour break so that I can go away, or so that we can all go away, you know, and do different things. So I had my lunch. We had a ham and cheese toasty on... What was it? Ham and cheese toasty on tiger bread. So that was very, very tasty. And then I went for a walk. And then after the walk, it was about a half a mile walk, a little over half a mile. But then after that, I came up here back to the office, got a little bit more work done. I wanted to finish I wanted to work more on the scripts that I was working on during this morning, so that I could move on to another task. So we've done that. Hello, McLeod. How are McLeod? A 100 stream streak. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, McLeod. So what's your next goal? That is amazing. A 100 stream streak. Man, fantastic. Your next goal is 200. You'll do it. You'll do it. I'm sure you can do it. I believe in you. You can do the thing. And since I'm doing 6, 7, 8 live streams per week now, or up to 8 live streams per week now, it shouldn't take you very long to get up to 200. You'll try. Okay. Hello, Astana. How are you? Glad to see you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I love it. How did your afternoon go, Astana? And McLeod, how are you both doing? Like I said, I had a nice afternoon. We like I said, I had lunch. I went for a walk. It's a bit too cold outside to go for a long walk, so I only went on like a half a mile walk, just around the neighborhood. And we also bought, my housemates and I, we looked at some new light fittings. So we're getting the electrics all done up in this, all over this house. Kermit the Frog hand wave. But yeah, we're getting the electrics completely rewired through this entire house. Hopefully next month, in February. And to do that, we need to replace some of the light fittings. You know, it just makes sense to replace the light fittings that we want to replace at the same time that the electricians are doing their job, because they'll do all the wiring up for us. Makes sense, right? I think it does. So in here, instead of the light that I've got currently, which is that thing, there we are, that light, instead of that, I'm going to be putting, we're replacing that with a 3-lamp spotlight, and each of the lamps, it's very retro looking, so I really love it. But yeah, all 3 lamps are adjustable, and I can adjust them to point in whichever direction I want. So I'm going to be pointing like 2 of them towards this wall in front of me, so that the light then bounces off onto my face, off the wall and onto my face. And then I also want to point at one of the lights behind me to make sure that there's enough light throughout this entire room. But it's a really retro looking lamps, so really looking forward to replacing that. And we've also we ordered, well, my housemates ordered, because they're the ones that own the house. So they ordered three new light fittings that are also very retro. It's gold, or brass rather, brass chrome with wood effect, with wood accents, and the lamp shades around the lights are canvas. And it's a triple, so it's three lamps per light fitting. And we've ordered three of those to go downstairs. And then outside, we've got a more modern look. So we've got, the lights that shine up and down along the wall for the outside light. And it also has some clear plastic so that the light shines out of the clear plastic on the main bit where the light bulbs are. So we're getting three of those for outside, one for the back door, one for like the mid part of the house where the driveway is, and then one for the front side of the house. So we lunch break was very productive, let me tell you. Asana, class was canceled, so you went home and took a warm shower. I don't blame you. Taking a warm shower sounds really good. I mean, with me, a warm shower is like hot. If the bathroom isn't full of steam when I finish taking a shower, then the shower wasn't hot enough. That is my belief in life as far as showers are concerned. But I'm sorry class was canceled. Or, hooray, class was canceled? It depends. Do you like that class? How upset are you that class was canceled? McLeod, you're doing good. You're on duty elsewhere at the moment, so you'll be lurking. No worries, McLeod. I hope that whatever duty that you were on is light duty and not very, dramatically hard or anything. Astana, it's a bit sad because you like learning, but yay, more free time. Yeah, kind of a two sides to every coin type of thing, You enjoy the learning, so you're sad that the class is canceled, but you also get some free time to do things that you want to do, which is always good. So it makes sense. So we will be starting our first pomo in, which is right here. Our pomo is it's Japanese, and to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what it's short for. Pomodoro. I'm actually looking it up because I have no idea. So okay, so Pomodoro actually is Italian. And it's called the Pomodoro technique because okay, I'm going into history. I hope you don't mind. Astana, consider this your afternoon class. The Pomodoro technique is a time management method that was developed by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s. So the Pomodoro is not a new thing. It's an old thing that's been repurposed for modern life, which is awesome, and I love it. So it's called Pomodoro because Francesco Cirillo originally used a kitchen timer that looked like a tomato. Because Pomodoro literally means, it's Italian for tomato. And Francesco Cirillo used a kitchen timer that looked like a tomato for the Pomodoro technique. That's why it's called the tomato technique. So yeah, it's you break work into intervals by using a timer. Typically, it says what I'm reading. It says typically 25 minutes in length, separated by short breaks, and each interval is known as a pomodoro. Yeah, after the tomato-shaped kitchen timer that he used while he was a university student. So there you go. Um, it's really cool. So the original technique, you decide on the task that has to be done. You set the timer, typically for about 25 minutes. Then you work on the task, and when the timer rings, you stop and you take a about a 10-minute long break. And then you go back to step 2 and repeat until you complete um, four pomo intervals. So, but because I only do a 2-hour live stream, we only have time really to do 3 pomos. So, it's a very interesting thing. I honestly did not realize that it was created in the late 1980s. So there you have it. That is your class for today. I hope you've enjoyed this learning lesson. It reminds me of, because I mean, I used to do a similar thing when I was in high school and university, well, college, in the States. And even growing up, I mean, as I grew up and became an adult, I still did. And I have no idea where I came up with the technique, but I ended up doing it. Tea, thank you. My housemate just came and stole my tea mug because they're gonna go downstairs and make more tea. So I'm gonna have tea soon. Yay, more tea. Kermit the Frog flailing. Anyway, yes. So yeah, but yeah, when I was growing up, in high school, junior high and high school, I did that, and I just did it because I needed the break. Because what I used to do, like in junior high, I would sit down after. I mean, my teachers were big on homework, and I would sit down from like 4 o'clock in the afternoon until 9 o'clock at night, nonstop doing homework. Um, and some nights I wouldn't get finished until I went to bed, until it was bedtime, and then I couldn't handle it. It was stressful, so I came up with the do 30 minutes of studying and then take a little bit of a break, get a snack, get a drink, walk around, visit with my mom, whatever. Chat on the phone for 5 hours with my friends. But yeah. Okay, my friends, we've been warming up with a chatting session now for about 15 minutes. I am going to put the Pomo timer on. So 20 minutes of work. Get your head down. Do whatever you need to do during this next 20 minutes. And we will catch up in the break. 20 minutes. Let's go. Try to unmute the microphone. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. How did your first work or focus section go? I hope it went well. Um, I got a little bit done. I checked over on my online course in the student chatting, sections, forums, basically. Uh, Checked a few things that have been written there, and then um, been working on my course assignment, which is to basically look through other creators' comments and try to find pain points from people who watch those videos and see if there's any questions about the game. Because if you're a content creator, I'm just going to tell you right now, checking comments of videos, not only your own but other creators, is a fantastic way of trying to of finding out what viewers are looking for, what problems they're having, and yeah. So that's what I'm doing today. That is my task. I am nearly finished. Actually, I've just got a little bit to go. Um, with this one. I've got 4 other ones because the assignment is to find 5 people who do something that's similar to who make videos similar to what you make, or content similar to what you make. And yeah, I'm working on my first of the 5. So I've got a long way to go with this one. So this is probably going to take me the rest of today, but it's fine. So what all do y'all what do you have planned for the rest of the day after we finish this evening or this afternoon's stream? Do you have anything special planned for this evening? That is my question right now. Paul is at college today, and he should be getting home not too long, either like right before I our stream ends. He normally is here like for about, he gets home about 20 minutes before our stream ends in the afternoon on Mondays. So I will chat with him once we're finished, and then I will probably go downstairs, switch my monitors over to my downstairs monitors, and relax for the rest of the evening. Probably get a little bit more work done. And until my housemate fixes tea. Um, but I'll be like chatting with Paul for at least half an hour after after our live stream ends today, because Paul always has a lot to say when he gets home from college. He does tell me a little bit about what they do each day, although getting details out of him is very, very difficult, but it's fine. And then, yeah, he come. By the way, most of what Paul talks about is Furbies. Are we surprised? Are we surprised? I don't think we are. McLeod, your plans for the rest of the day are food and whatever else happens. You don't tend to plan. You've always loved after school chats. Yeah, Paul is just with me. It's I'm like, hey Paul, what did you do today? And he'll tell me. I'm like, did you have a good day at college? Yeah, and he'll be like, I did this, whatever the day is, because they normally only do like 1 class per college day. Is the way they do it. They have like a 2-hour long course in the mornings, and then they do home class, and then they do the coursework, and then they'll have a very long lunch. Their lunches are like over an hour. And then they will either go back to the class or they'll do free time depending on the day and the class. So, like, if it's English, they usually have like free time in the afternoon. They'll do like English during, for for an hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning, um, break off for lunch, and then they'll do like free stuff. And he always he'll tell me what the free stuff is, whether he did art or crafts or I think he's doing health and beauty as his options for this year. So yeah, he always tells me. never details, never details, but he always tells me what at least what classes and options and stuff like that he did. So McLeod, you'd be surprised. Some parents don't do the after school chats. That is really sad. I agree. That is so sad. You need to do the after school chats with your kids. One, it shows your child that you're interested in what they do. You're interested in their lives. And two, it encourages your kids to come to you when they want, when they have something to talk about. And that's very, very important for children, even even when they're adults, like Paul is. Paul's 23, and it's very important to for them to know that they can come to you when they have something that they want to talk about. Super important. I'll always say that. Be a good parent. Talk to your kids. Ooh, speaking of tea. Thank you very much. Hidden biscuit. Thank you. My housemate just came upstairs with the tea. Look, I got bourbon. I got bourbon biscuit and a mug of tea. McLeod, your son knows that he can tell you anything. That is so sweet. It really is. But yeah, talk with your kids. And it's like, I mean, I'll take Paul out. Hold on. I can't resist eating a bourbon biscuit. But yeah, I'll take Paul out on Fridays. Every Friday, Paul and I go out. And I think this week, though, he's got this week is his last day out with a charity. So he's been like every other Friday, this charity worker comes out and takes Paul to do whatever Paul wants. Usually Paul wants to go into the city and walk around. But the charity rung me up last week and they said, well, because you've moved farther out, we're going to have to cancel our service with you because it's you just live too far away from the city center now. And I'm like, seriously, we're still in Leeds, in the city jurisdiction. And they're like, yeah, but you live too far out. No charity in the city is gonna serve you because you're too far out. And I'm like, well, I can't ask the neighboring city, the next closest town or city's council to do charities from there to do it because we're outside their jurisdiction. She's like, yeah, well, sorry, it's been nice knowing you, bye. And then she hung in exact that tone of voice. Yeah, and then she hung up on me, and I'm like, oh wow, thanks. So this Friday is Paul's last day with the charity. I am not happy about it, but there's nothing I can do. So I am hoping that once Paul graduates college, that I'll be able to get him into some day centers where they'll take him out and do things with him. So we'll see how that goes. I might have to get adult social services involved to find him places, but it's fine. Will do. McLeod, someone who puts their kids in morning preschool and after school club. Then when they pick them up, they feed them and wow. If you're not going to interact with your kids, why did you have kids in the first place? I don't like judging people because I've got a lot that people can judge me over. I will 100% hold my hands. I am not perfect. But yes, if you have kids, you 100% need to spend time with your kids. They grow up fast. I mean, it feels like yesterday that Paul was 7. I can literally remember Paul's 7th birthday like it was yesterday. It was a Cars themed birthday, by the way. He had a chocolate cake that I bought from a supermarket because I couldn't afford to get him a bespoke cake, and he said he wanted chocolate cake, so I went to, I think it was Asda, and got him a cake that was chocolate cake with chocolate fudge icing and covered in chocolate white chocolate and milk chocolate buttons. He loved it. It was tasty, and the fact that I can still remember it like it was yesterday, it tells you how much he enjoyed himself. So, Mandela, hello. You're lurk working. No worries. You got a piece of social media content that you need to create for today, as you won't be at the office tomorrow. Oh, good luck with it. I hope it goes well. And McLeod, is your thoughts exactly? Yeah. Okay, we've got about 4 minutes. Sorry, of our break time, and I, once again, desperately need the loo. So I will be right back. Give me 1 minute. Okay, we're back. See, told you it would take me a minute. Mandela, you fell asleep in the first co-work stream in the last break time. You needed a power nap. Oh wow. So I mean, it happens. It definitely happens. Sometimes you just need a break, and your body just goes, "Yeah, you're taking a nap whether you like it or not." And McLeod, it's not the money you spend; it's the time you spend with them. Exactly. Yeah. You gotta spend time if you even if you don't have kids, if you have young people in your life, spend time with them. Like if you have nieces or nephews, nibblings, definitely spend time with them. Because like I said, kids don't stay kids for very long. I mean, it sounds like long, 20 years old. 20 years sounds like a very long time, but it passes so quickly, and it's really important as they're growing up, even if they're just your nibblings or or grandchildren as you get older. It's really important to as they get older to for them to know that they can come to you, if they need to talk to anyone. Also, to feel loved. Everyone wants to feel loved, right? Mandela, you didn't expect to nap as you were meditating with citrine. Next thing you know, the stream was over. No. It happens. It does happen. There have been some times. That's why. I was gonna say there have been some times where I've been meditating, and 2 hours later I wake up. That is why I stopped meditating while sitting up and started just meditating when I was while I'm in bed, because that way if I fall asleep, it's not a big deal. McLeod, love is 100% important. Yes, completely agree. Mandela, you agree it's the time we spend, times we show up that kids remember, not the money we spend on them. Exactly, yes. Right, break is over. Let's get into our next productive period again. Um, don't worry. Continue chatting. If you have more things to say in the chat, please feel free to chat, and I will catch up with you all after the 20 minutes are finished. Amandella, when you need rest, you need rest. The body knows. 100% yes. Right, let's set this timer. Timer, space 20 slash 5. Where's the 5? There we go, 15. And I'll see you all in 20. Okay, and once again, we have finished a promo. Fantastic. I've got a lot done without it seeming like I've got a lot done. Does that make sense? I've gone over the work page that I've been the workbook that I filled out early yesterday, and I've reformatted it so that I can read it a little bit better, because at some points I'm like, what in the world am I looking at? But yeah, I've reformatted it a little bit to make it easier for me to read, and I've done a little bit of a summary at the bottom, so that because right now it's like 3 pages long. Yeah, it's a huge document. So a summary is definitely needed at the end, just so that I don't have to read through all 3 pages whenever I need to. So I've done that. So yeah, we have been a little bit productive so far this afternoon. I'm glad. I'm really glad of it. Now, hold on. I'm trying. I don't need to chew gum while on stream, because you all don't want to hear me going and smacking my mouth while I chew gum. That's very rude of me. So I will not have gum while while we're live streaming. And also, the doorbell just went off like right before I hit the demute button. So yeah, I am not certain what we are what we're expecting. I'm not certain what it was, but I have a feeling it might be my light fixture for in here. So that's exciting. It won't get put up until the electrician has rewired the house, but I'm still excited about it. I'm allowed to be excited. It's really cool though. I'm really my future light fitting for the office. Really excited about it. It's the colors, from what I saw online, the colors should match nicely with the wallpaper that I'm putting in the back here. So hopefully it all looks good. That's the problem when you're doing online shopping. Photos can lie. It all depends on lighting and post-processing. If they do AI adjustments to the photo to bring up the saturation or fix light levels and such, that can drastically alter the appearance of an item in the photo. So yeah, that is the only problem with shopping online, is you're never exactly certain if the color of the item in the photo is the actual color that it's gonna be when you get it. But it's fine. I'm sure it will be absolutely 100% fine. Cue the meme of the dog in a flaming dining room, Yeah, one of those. So I'm looking at the release calendar for games for this week, and it looks like we've got some interesting things. Today's the 26th, so High Guard releases today. High Guard is a PvP raid shooter from the creators of Apex Legends and Titanfall. So if you're into FPS PvP raid shooters, you might want to take a look at that. Tomorrow, Underground Garage, which is a simulation game, that releases tomorrow. It is a game where you fix cars, tune them up, and hit the road for racing them. Like road racing, underground road racing, So yeah, if you're into racing simulators and simulation games, sim games where you fix cars, that might be an interesting game that you might want to take a look at. We've got a game called Dispatch that releases for the Switch on the 28th. Opting, hello, how you doing? Racing under the ground, like through tunnels? Possibly. I mean, where there's a road, all roads eventually lead to a tunnel, right? If you follow the road long enough. How are you, Opting? You alright? Glad to see you here today. But yeah, Dispatch is being released on the Switch. Dispatch is a superhero workplace comedy where choices matter. You manage a dysfunctional team of misfit heroes and strategize who to send to emergencies around the city while balancing office politics, personal relationships, and your own quest to become a hero. From what I've heard, Dispatch is supposed to be a pretty funny and fun to play a story-rich adventure game. So my problem with games like that is I find that they try to be too many genres at once, and some things don't always work very well. But from what I understand, Dispatch is supposed to be a good game. You're doing good. Oh, glad to hear it, Opting. I'm just fine, thank you. We're getting things done today. That is the goal of all of our daytime streams. Get things done. And drink water, you know. Get things done, get hydrated, and enjoy the rest of our day, once we're finished getting things done. Although with me, enjoying the rest of my day is getting more things done, because my to-do list is a mile long, and it's not getting any shorter. There's always something to do, What else do we have? We've got another racing game called Lane Split coming out on the 28th as well. Push performance spikes to the absolute limit and weave through traffic where one wrong move can spell disaster. I'm not a huge fan of racing games, but if you like your racing games and you like motorbikes, Opting, I use miles to measure my to-do lists because you use kilometers. Both Canada and the UK are a mix of imperial and metric. I mean, I'm originally from the United States, as you may know, so I tend to measure things in miles because that's how I was raised. I am horrible at kilometers because my brain, after going through the American education system, such as it is, my brain can only think in miles. Where people are like, oh, it's 3 kilometers. Such and such is 3 kilometers away. I'm like, quick, go to my phone, type in what's 3 kilometers in miles. That's usually where I'm at. That's usually what I end up having to do. So, always fun though. Yeah, and then same thing with like millimeters. My housemates measure things in millimeters. So they're like, the other day, because I'm after getting like another desk downstairs, because right now I'm using an old fold-up table, and I'm like, well, maybe I can get another one of these console tables that I'm using for a desk up here in my office for downstairs. And my housemate's like, well, I'll measure it up for you. How long is your console table, your desk upstairs? And I'm like, I don't know. It's about this long, I'm like, it's this long, and he's like, in millimeters. How long is your console table in millimeters? And I'm like, I don't know. What's a millimeter? Opting the distance between the nearest intersection of the highway in one direction and the river in the other direction is nearly exactly 1 kilometer, which has been very helpful for visualization for you. That's pretty cool. It's nice when that happens. Opting 1500, that should be about my wingspan. I honestly don't know. It's literally like it is this big. You know, my arms are almost just sitting here. My arms are almost completely outstretched, going from one corner of of this desk to the other. So it's a pretty big desk, to be honest. Hold on, can I show you? Here you go. So that's one end of my desk. And then we got my keyboard, hand for size, for sizing. Monitors are mounted on using mounting arms on the desk, and then that's the end of the desk. So it's a pretty good, it's a pretty long or wide, however you want to phrase it, desk. It's a good size. In general, someone's spread arms are about the same as their height, plus or minus a little bit. Yeah, it's the same. Like you, most people, the average person, if they take a huge step, like literally, like you stretch your leg out as far as it'll go, and you make a step, and you step forward. That distance, if I'm remembering correctly, I think is equal to your height as well. I want to say it is. It's either equal to your height or it's close to equal to your height, I think. Or like I found out when I was a kid by the very scientific study of having all of my friends jump. Like stand where in one's, behind one line or right, with their toes touching a piece of tape on the floor, and then jump forward as far as they could. And then I measured it, very scientific, for like a 7-year-old. But then I measured how far they jumped, and every single one of them, all 5 of my friends that I had with me at the time, they all jumped the exact same distance, and that they were tall. So there you go. That's, like I said, very scientific. Except for one kid who like was the athlete in my friend group, and they were able to jump, I think, like 2 or 3 inches farther than they were tall. Human bodies are weird, man. They really are. So there's one more game being released that I can find here, being released in the next couple of days. The first part of this week, and it's called Hell Mart. It is a simulation game, a horror game, and the description is supermarket simulator meets horror. You're a clerk at a 24-hour convenience store in the far north. During the day, you serve customers and hit your sales goals. At night, beware of strange clients. Hide, escape, and defend yourself. Very, very weird sounding game, but I might have to take a look at it because it just sounds so weird. Opting, a pace for a military-age male is about 1 yard or meter with some adjustments for stacking areas. You know how much you have to adjust your pace to make measuring by pace pretty reliable inside of 100 yards. Wow. I'm impressed, Opting. I really am. Okay. We have ended our break, my friends, so let's start our next work timer. Just as a reminder, we do 20 minutes of focus time, followed by about 15 minutes of chat time. And we do this so that we can get an even number of chat and work times in the 2 hours. So let's start the timer, and I will catch up with you all in 20 minutes. And we are finished with all of our work for this afternoon. How are you all getting on? How much have you gotten done? Have you been at least a little bit productive? Remember, it doesn't matter how much you've got done as long as you've done some things on the list of things that you wanted. As long as you're farther along than when you first started at the beginning of this 2 hours of live streaming, then it's a win. You have to take the little wins sometimes. Even if your task was to wash the dishes and all you got done was the cutlery, that is still that's still less dirty dishes, rather, than you started with. So I would consider that a win. But yes, how are you all doing? So I've started on my second competitor worksheet, and this competitor is more along the lines of where I'm at in YouTube. They've got, like this very similar sub count to me. They publish mostly shorts, but they do publish some long form, and yet they're around my level. So it'll be really interesting to take a look and see how their videos differentiate from mine and what they do differently and all that stuff. It is really, really interesting to watch other creators and how they go about things. It's a learning experience. It definitely is. And sometimes you find you find good, fantastic creators that you resonate with, and you end up, following them and supporting them, which is what this is whole meant to be anyway. I do like finding people to support, that. So, Mandela, you finished 3 pieces of content unexpectedly. You're so happy. You don't feel so bad now about not being in the office tomorrow. That's good. Glad that you don't. Getting things done today is helping you feel better about tomorrow. Always good. McCloud, it's definitely a win. I agree. 100%. Oh, I am tired. Oh, excuse me. I don't know about you all, but I am severely in the mid-afternoon snoozy phase of the day. Are any of the rest of you like this? Do you start feeling snoozy around 3, somewhere between 2 and 4 p.m. your time, wherever you are, in the afternoon? Do you start feeling snoozy around then? Because I do, and I always call it the late afternoon to early evening slump. McLeod, you're always tired. I feel you, McLeod. I feel you. Mandela, we're winning whether it's 1 thing or 10 things. Progress, no matter how small, is progress. Yes, 100%. See, I used to beat myself up. Not literally, but figuratively. And when I was younger, I would beat myself up because I'd be like, right, I need this, I want to do this, and I'd have 10 things on a list that I would want to get done by the end of that day. And if I didn't get all of those things done, I considered the entire day a failure. And that is, and doing that very quickly led to me feeling like, well, why should I even start? If I'm not going to get everything done that I want to get done today, why bother even doing 1 thing? It's not the right mindset. You need to celebrate the small progress. So what? Maybe you had 10 things that you wanted to get done today, and maybe you only got 3 of them done. So what? You got 3 things done. Yeah, fine, you've got 7 more things that need to get done, but you got those 3 things done. So good on you. Even if you only got 1 thing done or part of 1 thing done, that is still progress. That is definitely better than not getting anything done at all. So yes, you just have to get that mindset and celebrate the small things. Mandela, some days you find the days you fast though. Yeah, some days you feel tired. You find the days that you fast, you don't have that slump at all. You're actually more energetic. Oh, that's pretty cool. McLeod, your pass carry, and if it gets done, great. If it doesn't, it can wait. The voice of a parent. I have to admit, when I had kids, yeah. that was that was very quickly became my mindset as well. I'm like, that's when I figured out, wait a minute, I'm doing this all wrong. It's when you have kids, your brain, it's like your whole paradigm shifts. But Mandela, being more energetic on days that you fast, I wonder why that is. Is it because you don't have the full stomach? Um, because when your body processes food, when it starts digesting, the rest, it has been proven that the rest of your systems slow down, because it takes so much energy to break down food. So that might be a cause of feeling tired. In the like after you've eaten a meal, that might be why you feel tired, because your body is concentrating on breaking down the food that you ate, especially if you eat large meals, which is why I tend towards smaller meals, and I eat slower. So I'll have, instead of, like, for example, instead of having a giant, large sandwich or a burger with chips and ice cream and a drink, I'll only have, like when I take my son out, for example, for lunch, you know, I'll only have like maybe the burger, or maybe instead of the burger, I'll have a wrap, which is smaller still, and I might have a couple of his chips, but I won't have chips of my own. And I'll only have the chips if he offers to share, and doing it that way, and not just having smaller meals throughout the day instead of one large meal, I have found tends to make me feel a little bit less tired. I think right now I'm tired because the heating is on. This room is extremely roasty. And I think that might be why I'm a bit snoozy right now, is because it's just so warm and cozy in this room that I just feel like I'm being wrapped up in a blanket. McLeod, I may be only one. You may be only one person in the world, but you're the best. Hold on. My brain is not letting me read that. Let me try the other chat window. You may be only one person in the world, but you are the best in the world to one person. There we go. I completely agree. And Mandela, you wish you learned that when you were younger. You'll be morbid and say that it took cancer for you to realize that you can get to the tasks tomorrow. Yes, exactly. Opting, you overshot on work time. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. Like if I'm in the middle of typing a sentence when the Pomo timer finishes, I will continue typing that sentence until I'm finished. Just because I don't like stopping mid sentence. Mandela, it takes energy to digest. The body's working on that, especially if it's a big meal or something carb heavy. So you're conscious of that and what you eat. Small portions for the win. Exactly. And I've also found that eating smaller meals, eating slowly, eating smaller meals and eating them slowly, like taking time to, you take a bite of food and you enjoy each and every single bite and concentrate on the tastes and the textures. That also leads to you feeling fuller faster, which means you eat even less. So I've just learned how to do that over the years. Instead of like inhaling my food, um, I just take my time with it and enjoy it. Opting, you dug out the van so your wife could go to town, and you brought in brought in wood for the next week. You still have to stack the wood, but that's a work time thing. Exactly, Opting, exactly. I just tried to inhale water. Never try to inhale water. It hurts. Never try to breathe water. Don't do it. I can highly recommend against it. Sorry for coughing in y'all's ears like that. Oh jeez. I've got tears now from that. So yeah, how much snow do you have, Opting, that you had to dig out the van? And Mandela, eating slowly is an underrated skill and one of the best things you can do. Exactly, yeah. And it helps with digestion. Another excuse me. Another thing I've learned is water. Um before I eat, I will have like a couple hundred mils of water, and that that helps break the food down in your stomach a little bit faster as well, and makes you feel, makes you feel fuller faster as well because you've got the liquid in your stomach. McLeod, steady up. Not I inhaled the water because of the way this flask is. I should probably get a straw for it, but the way that this flask is, when it gets down to about 100 milliliters, left 150 milliliters, the opening is really big, so you end up swallowing air along with the drink. Unless you really tilt it back. So I think what I might do for tomorrow is get a straw for this, and that way I can sip from the straw instead of from the flask opening itself. I think that makes sense. Opting, you would say that there's only about 6 inches of snow this last round, so not much. Oh my god. I love how you're like, oh, it's not much snow. 6 inches. Over here, 6 inches of snow here in the UK, the country would screech to a halt. Absolutely just screech to a halt. Um, which is hilarious, I mean, we've got gritters and snow. I'm not sure if we have snow plows. I'm pretty sure we do, especially like out in the middle of the more rural regions. But most like in the cities is gritters, and yeah, I don't think England could handle 6 inches of snow. Scotland and Wales, yeah, but England itself, no, no. Especially the cities. McLeod, a scattering of snow here means Armageddon. Oh my god, yes. I can remember back when Paul was in proper, like school instead of college. One year we got like 2 inches of snow on the ground, and he was out of school for a week. They just canceled school for the entire week, and I'm like, it's 2 inches of snow. The roads have been gritted. What? And the reason why they closed it wasn't because of the snow exactly, um, alone, but because of how cold it was, and the boilers at the school couldn't handle the extreme dip in temperature because it was freezing. It was below freezing. It was like really really cold during that week, and yeah, they closed the school because the boiler couldn't keep the school warm enough for the kids. They were all wearing their winter coats indoors to stay warm. So yeah, they just canceled school for that week. Often it was minus 25 Celsius the other day. You're pretty sure the UK would cease to exist at those Yeah. Yeah, very, very true. And yet your wife is from further north where minus 25 is just sort of normal for this time of year. Opting, if you tell me that up where your wife used to live, that they would go out in t-shirts and shorts at minus 25 degree weather, I'd kind of believe you, to be honest. McLeod, the thread of snow and the shops are empty of all the essentials. Yeah. We would definitely would not be able to survive here in the UK with that type of weather. All right, my friends. Anyway, shall we hold on? Let me do a quick check to see who all is online, because I do like doing raids every once in a while, you know. So oh my god, will you? What the heck is going on here? Hold on. There we go. Everything is just stop it. Okay. I know I can click things. Stop it. I know. Stop it. So I'm now Twitch is like, did you know that you can collaborate with people over in my thing? They're like, oh, you can collaborate. You can do this. You can do. It's like, shut up, Twitch. I already know these things. I know it. Mandela minus 25 in South Africa, and you become a ghost country. Yeah, I can. It's just it's too cold to comprehend. Okay, so who all is online right now? We've got Crystal Eos playing Minecraft. Will's online playing Stardew Valley. That's a nice chill game, right? Let me make sure that Will is actually online, and we will go and give Will's Toy Clearance an awesome coffee raid. Yes, he is online. Fantastic. Okay, let's get the raid up and running. I will give, for those of you over on YouTube, I will drop the, I'll drop Will's, link there to his Twitch channel, into the chat. And if I can find the right window, let me find Will. There we are. And of course, as McCloudy's on for another hour or so, fantastic. So, my friends, thank you all so much for being here with me today, working and chatting. I will see you all tomorrow, 10 a.m. UK time, with another session of work and co-working stream, 10 a.m. to noon, and again 2 to 4 p.m. UK time. But until then, please stay safe, please stay hydrated, and let's go give Will an awesome coffee raid. Until tomorrow, bye!